All right, unfortunately, I want to pull the hitch pin. Unfortunately, my filters for the 270 did not come in today like I was hoping, but I never get that lucky, so I'm not surprised. And naturally, when I got off of work and realized that they, or got back to figure out that they weren't here, I had missed Maybaugh by 15 minutes. So I'm gonna have to call real quick in the morning and see if they were indeed able to drop ship them right to me, or if they had to bring them in from the depot and then ship them from there. He did say if they had to bring them in from the depot, Maybaugh would have had them today, and then it is normally a day to get from Maybaugh to here. So hi, Austin. So anyway, where was I at? We're gonna go back to drilling beans today, and tomorrow I'll figure out where them filters are at. But regardless, I won't have them by morning, so probably gonna have to throw the 150 back on the finisher for the time being, and I'll get some more groundwork tomorrow morning, and then we'll go back to planting beans tomorrow afternoon. And then hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, because UPS has been delivering on Saturday, so hopefully everything works out maybe where I'll have them tomorrow afternoon, we can throw them back together and I could use it to fit more ground Sunday morning, hopefully. So wagon's dropped off, I'm gonna go grab the 66 and we'll be on our way. All right, I should still have, oh yeah, I got plenty left over from last night, so I will just plant that out before I refill. I do it that way, I should only have to fill once. Getting going an hour earlier today and everything is all in one spot, so should have no problem getting done here yet this evening. big sides done. Let's see. Oh, there ought to be. Oh yeah, there's enough left in there. Go over and do the small side. We'll be done over here. Another field knocked off the list. I was looking back through my I call it my plot book, my book that I write all my planting dates and harvest dates and yield, all that crap in. And we're already ahead of last year, because last year I didn't start until May 12th because it kept on raining right up until April. Last year was wet. May last year was wet. But last May I didn't start till the 12th. This May I started on the 8th. And last May, my first day, I only got 5 acres in the ground, and then I didn't look at what the next date was, but it seems like it was like 4 or 5 more days before I got anything else done. So we're already way ahead of the game compared to last year, and I kind of felt like I was behind, but I read that and it's like, I don't feel so bad no more. We're doing pretty good. So run this thing back and park it. I'll probably come get the bean wagon tomorrow, maybe. I might come get it yet tonight, we'll see. But for now, go hop on the 1955 and start doing some rolling. Try to at least get the field of Grandma and Grandpa's field done. Okay, let's get this girl woke up. since we don't have power shift filters for this thing, and we still got work to get done, the old silver bullet is gonna have to pull in substitute duty. I still gotta call Maybell real quick and make sure those filters even got shipped, so I know if I need to get my hopes up or not. But in the meantime, we'll get these two warming up so that I can pull it or do the swap. Point that I didn't think about the other day. If that power shift filter uses a cellulose element, and there was any water left in the system, which there probably was, that filter very well could be plugged with water, because the cellulose filter will not let water pass. So that is a possibility. We're good on Earl. Fuel this thing up before I hook it up, and we'll be on our way. Alright, we're at the first of 3 fields I want to get work today and then be planting by this afternoon, so I put my depth stocks back where I had them from pulling it with this. So sure how I feel about that though. How does it look? Does it look plantable? Hopefully at some point that plugged basket on that wing sorts itself out today. That would be nice. I think I'm going to put it back down where I had it for the 270 and see if she'll pull it, because I'd much rather go a little deeper. field number 2 for the day. Just a little guy. That basket's starting to clean itself out. Not quite there yet. Got a section and part of one cleaned out anyhow. I don't understand how this thing can plug with mud. Like, I literally drove it's a spot like the width of the frame of the baskets, and I don't understand how it can happen so fast and then immediately back out on a dry ground. I don't get it. Round bar harrows, they're the worst for that. And also, when I pulled in, I saw a hunk of log, or not really log, but a larger hunk of limb. Did I drive over top of it? Oh, right there. That probably would have disintegrated when I hit it anyhow, but regardless. There's 3 fields done. Naturally, I get over here to spread fertilizer and I'm looking around because this field is notorious for having trees down. Come over here to spread fertilizer 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, not a single tree down. I'm like, huh, not too bad. Get over here to start working ground, 5 freaking dead pine trees, because almost every single major tree down this fence line is dead. But 5 pine trees laying all down this side. Oop, that's a grapevine. So naturally they're all freaking massive, and they didn't break off at the base, or they all broke off at the base, so couldn't move them by hand. And even if I could, 3 of them were all covered in poison ivy, so I picked up the small pieces that I could, and then just didn't want to have to leave here, go all the way back, get the loader tractor, come back over here. So I just kind of, luckily the way they all fell, the bases were all far enough in, I was able to just kind of nudge the soil finisher up against them with the wing, and they kind of slid off into the tree line and called her good. So it all worked out, I guess. Still just annoying. I need to this field, I need to figure out kind of what their plans are for it, because the landowners are getting up there in years and I don't know what the kids have planned for it. I I don't know if that's poison ivy or not, and I really don't want to touch it without gloves on, because this whole fence row is inundated with poison ivy. But anyway, this field's kind of, sort of, I don't know what the future holds for it. I'd like to buy it. That would be neat, since it's right down the road from the house, but I don't know if that's in the cards or not. But I need to figure out what long-term, what the kids have planned for it, and if they're gonna let me continue farming it. I'm gonna have to have a talk with them about gutting this fence row, because it's just, it's grown way out from the property line, so you could probably pick up at least 15-20 feet, and every year there's always trees down at planting, there's always trees down at harvest. It's a maintenance nightmare because everything in it is dead. That being said, I don't know exactly the best way to clean it out because it's all inundated with poison ivy, so you can't, I mean, you can burn it, but I couldn't be near the smoker, it'd probably kill me. Can't touch it, because if I get too wrapped up in it, I'm gonna break out so bad, and if I get broke out enough, it'll probably kill me. It's just one of them. Or do you come out here, make friends with somebody that's got an orchard sprayer, and have them come out here and run down that fence line and nuke it with some whatever badass concoction you can come up with to just kill everything and let it dry down and then take care of it. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to get done as far as working ground for the day. So we'll go take this to my house and park it, because that's where the jumping off point will be for tomorrow. I did get a hold of Maybach, and those bearings have not shipped yet. They won't see them till Monday. I probably won't see them till Tuesday. So I guess the 40150 is the ground working machine for the weekend. And if I get the filter for the 270 by Tuesday, that'll be fine, because if I get done planting beans, still got to get them all rolled. So Monday, Tuesday, I'll probably be finishing up rolling them. So I won't be worried about planting corn quite yet anyhow. So, but go park this thing, grab a bite to eat real quick, see if Shelly can run me to my truck. And then we will go grab the bean wagon and start moving stuff around where it needs to be. All right. I filled the 66 up and the drill up at Mom and Dad's, and that load should give me enough to do those first two fields, the smaller ones, and then I can get to here, refill, and then I can plant this on a fill. So that's where that all stands. So go get the tractor and we'll start planting. I think the road running is the part that's gonna suck. If it wasn't for that, I would for sure have enough daylight to get all this, but I think I should have enough daylight to get all this. I think. Oh, and good news, the filters for the 270 showed up, which is odd because Joe over at Maybach said on his system they hadn't even been received in yet. So I don't know exactly how that worked, unless stuff got lost in translation. But either way, they're here. So get done planting tonight, time permitting, I'm gonna go screw with that, and we will be back to 270 on the finisher tomorrow, fingers crossed. Also, just like every year, friggin' white trash leaving their trash along the road out here bugs the hell out of me. Tell you what, it could warm up about any time. I'm wearing well, I think it's actually colder now than it was at 9 o'clock this morning. I was down to a t-shirt, and I hopped on this thing. I had to put this is a fleece lined sweatshirt, a heavy one. And driving over here, still kind of like, yeah, it kind of wouldn't be bad if I had my coat. Thermometer says 60 degrees with the wind. I have a hard time believing it. It don't feel that warm. field for the day. Drill's filled. I heaped it, so we got plenty to get this field done without another fill. Looking at what's left in the gravity box, it appears things are coming out about right. So, but well, with what's in the gravity box and roughly how much I've been using in there, how many acres I've been covering with the drill, pretty darn close. So anyhow, didn't take long at all, only about a little over an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, that accomplishes everything that I set out. I wanted to get these 3 fields worked and planted before the end of the day. That's what I wanted to do, which leaves me, I got 2 fields left. They're gonna get drilled, and then the muck is getting 30-inch beans on it. So provided the one piece tomorrow is ready or is fit to work, which I'll have to go look at it and walk it and see how wet it is, because that is going to be the wet one. If that one's ready to go, then should be able to work those last 2 pieces tomorrow morning, which if the 270, if I can get the 270 back on her feet tonight, and that's good to go, then should have no problem getting that stuff worked before noon tomorrow. And then should have no problem getting them planted tomorrow afternoon, and then drilled beans will be done. So, but you run that 270 on that finisher, and you're running 6 mile an hour, and she, I mean, 6 mile an hour, not like 3/4 throttle, and she's just kind of like, okay. And then you get the poor old 4-150 that's screaming, pulling her guts out, can pull it about 5 mile an hour. And that extra mile an hour doesn't seem like much until you do the math, and 24 feet by a mile is like 120 something thousand square feet and some change. And you divide that by 43,560, and it comes out to, you're basically working an extra 3 acres an hour, which is pretty significant. And I could probably pull it faster, but you look at the finisher and the way it's working out, or the way it works and the way the baskets is, just 6 mile an hour just seems like a good happy medium. Not much faster than that, you probably gotta start beating the crap out of the tool. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna move this home, and then I gotta have Shelly take me to my truck, and I'm probably gonna mess with Elanor real quick tonight, get that filter swapped out, see if that takes care of the light, and hopefully tomorrow we can finish up planting beans. So that's gonna be its own video. So that's it for this one. We will catch you guys on the next one.